we're continuing with interesting brands. We now have two brands that will join a common conversation because they are old industries trying to integrate some internet and digital into their product. So we called it New Connected Device, and we're going to have on stage Kevin Camphuis, who's the head of the digital workshop for Group SEB, and Patrick Hoffstetter, who's the chief digital officer for Renault. And help me work on that, please. Salut. Okay. So, could you please briefly introduce yourselves and what you're doing at your own companies? Do you want to, Patrick?
Welcome. My name is Patrick Hoffstetter. I joined Renault roughly 3 years ago to set up and manage the digital factory of Renault. So it's currently roughly 50 people at the HQ, managing anything around digital, from a platform to e-marketing, social, mobile, e-commerce, and also internal B2E digital tools.
My name is Kevin Camphuis. I'm responsible for digital workshop that has been funded inside Group SEB. Group SEB is worldwide leader for small domestic appliances. It's a French company. And this digital workshop has been funded 3 years ago, and it aims at fostering innovation and putting more digital into our future products.
Perhaps for those that are non-French, Kevin, could you give a few names of the brands that you have inside Group SEB?
So Group SEB is, for what you know, Tefal, Roventa, Krups, Moulinex, Allclad, and 20 other brands that we sell worldwide in 150 countries.
So we're going to divide this panel in two parts. One about what you're doing these days, network exits, and the second part about the future and how you see your industries are going to change. I'd like you both to say a few words about your communication strategy on the web and how you see digital as part of your marketing and communication objectives and campaigns. So perhaps, Patrick, you've been with us here at LeWeb since, what, 3 years now?
Fourth year.
Fourth year. So you're really interested in doing things with bloggers and more generally with the web. So tell us a little bit about that. What's your...
The first thing to understand is that when you're talking about big advertisers or big corporations such as Renault, historically digital used to be seen as a very a topic very much narrowed to marketing and communication. The reason why digital is actually much more strategic than that is that the digital impact is basically impacting the whole purchase funnel. From audience and the initial touch points for the consumers, all the way to the sale, and then to loyalty. Actually, we've been working on trying to identify the different steps of a prospect buying a new car. So we highlighted 17 different steps, and half of those steps are actually online touch points. So that's one complexity of digital. That is not like a one topic or a one-time event from a customer point of view. It's seamless. It's throughout the whole funnel. So back to your point in terms of communication, obviously what we've been forcing and increasing quite a lot for the past years is one, increasing the digitalization of our communication strategy, especially around major launches. And for example, within the past two years, what we did with the launch of Twizy or Zoe or the new Clio or Capture was more and more and very much digitalized. And that's where we are working really hand in hand with the marketing department, so that our communication strategies are really totally 360 from a customer point of view. The second thing that we have been obviously expanding quite a lot is making sure that our different touch points and basically our different platforms were as adapt as possible. So we have been working on two ways. One, the improvement of our different website, mobile sites, creating Facebook pages, being present on Twitter, and so on. At the same time, due to the evolution of the company, making sure that we're really having like a global and international view, which is the reason why my team for the past 2 years have been really focusing on expanding our different global platforms and our different guidelines throughout the roughly 70, 80 countries where we're actively working, which is obviously a big challenge because today 50% of the business at Renault is done outside of Europe. And as you may guess, the market situation and the digital market situation is very different from Brazil to China or Russia or UK.
Okay.
In the case of
same
Seb,
overview.
We would be using any kind of the tools that exist today, and we develop year after year new initiatives. We have about 250 to 300 different kinds of initiatives that are at the same time global or local, because cooking is very local, and we adapt in this case to any kind of situation there.
And so your brands are doing a lot of things with cooking bloggers, for example.
Mostly cooking, yes.
Okay. Okay, that was the first question, to give an overview on your company. But going back to the topic of this panel, new connected device. Kevin, so you started launching new products where internet is kind of integrated.
We've been working on it for about 3 years. People do cook with our appliance, but they cook recipes. And they were used to have recipes aside on books or on the internet. And the first step was to integrate the recipes into the appliances. And the step ahead is to give them the opportunity to upload any recipe in their appliances. So we have already built prototypes that we test and learn. And we will be able to launch our first range of connected appliances by next year.
By next year, okay. What about the connected car on your side?
So obviously, at Renault, we're experiencing quite a very exciting period right now, because not only digital is becoming massive in terms of impact. Just to give you one or two figures, this year we should aggregate roughly 200 million unique users overall globally, coming from our different local country website. We just went over 12 million fans on Facebook. So business-wise, this is becoming really massive. It's no more like the cherry on the cake. And the second thing is that with the launch of Renault R-Link, which is our connected car offer that we have been launching last year, that really opens a new world, so to speak, in terms of servicing, in terms of CRM, and why not in the future in terms of mediatization.
So tell us a little bit more about it, about this R-Link platform. Is it live in a numbers of cars you're launching? What's your objectives with this? I think it's open to startups, right? That could do some application for this system. Give us more details.
Okay. So first, from a customer point of view, what is R-Link? R-Link, it's basically an integrated tablet within the car, which is connected and which is offering a wide array of services, either really linked to the car itself in terms of like car services, but also we have been creating a Renault App Store, which is very much inspired by any type of a successful app store that you may know or have heard of, which means that behind the stage in terms of how it works. One, what we're doing is equipping our new range of products. So we started with the new Clio, and then with Capture, and month after month we're expanding that on all our different new launches, which means that very quickly in terms of market and base, the base will be quite significant quite rapidly. And the way we operate is that we're obviously working on an open model, which is the reason why, since now, as you mentioned, back in 2010, we've been very keen to show and communicate to the startup world the fact that we really needed startups to help us basically feed this store. And knowing that from an operational point of view, we are working on an open system,
Okay.
Android-based, actually.
Give it a little bit about this last topic, about how you're working with startups to help you innovate. I know you also have an industrial fund at SEB.
So we do it in many ways. We wanted to adapt ourselves to the expectations, but also the size and the capabilities of any startup that would be liking to work with us and collaborate with us. So we could have partnerships or collaboration by integrating them into our projects, or by building some bricks that we would integrate in their projects. We have also set up an internal investment fund that helps accelerate the growth of startups that we think can be very valuable for the future in terms of user experience in the kitchen. And the third initiative that we are building today is setting up a living labs where we will accelerate, build workshops, and also conduct any kind of collaborative studies or developments that can be helpful. And in those living labs, we will provide an IT platform, but also a testing environment with a force of testers that can give immediate feedback to any developments those startups or developers would like to test.
Okay. So you both are, from your DNA, I mean, your companies are manufacturers. What are the challenges and how do you do that to change an old, manufacturer to a very innovative manufacturer producing connected devices? How is it completely? Is it very complicated for your management, for example, to understand it, or do they own it? How do you do that internally?
You're right. I mean, we're an old company, and actually proud of it. Last year Renault celebrated its 115 year anniversary, which means behind that a very quite strong corporate culture, but also, as you can guess, some habits that we need to change. The reason why not just connected car, but digital at large is a challenge in big corporations such as ours, is the fact that one, from a technological point of view, so to speak, especially with connected car, we are just at the corner of different culture from telecom, culture from service, culture from entertainment, culture from mobile, and so on, which is very, very new for a brand and a company that has been more or less working on the same type of manufacturing for a century. The second thing is that it's the notion of time. In the car industry, you are working on roughly a 5 to 6 year range. With digital, it's like a daily adventure. So that's obviously you're big, shaking the boat. And the third thing is that from a cultural point of view, as you know, with digital, it's very much a test and learn culture, whereas in a manufacturing world, an engineering world, you want to be sure that you are mastering everything from A to Z, and that you're really reaching 100% quality ratio. So yes, it's a big cultural challenge. That's why whatever sector, we're all talking about digital transformation of the company, which goes really way beyond the pure topics of digital strategy. And how do we embark and onboard the whole company? And you're right, starting with the top management, which at the beginning is not necessarily totally expert in those fields. So that means that one key thing is really pedagogy, explaining and explaining and explaining again, because that's key. Because the first reaction or the first fear that you can see internally is the lack of understanding.
Digital culture.
So you need to explain exactly what we're talking about, and two, also explain all the threats and the opportunities, and basically trying to grasp as much KPI as possible to show the impact.
Okay. The first thing is to have your company understand that it's not a challenge, it's an opportunity. And once the management has understood that it's an opportunity, in a company like us, we've been obliged to make our own revolution every 20 years. And we are at the helm of a new era, and we know that we've been able to do it before. So we organize ourselves to climb the next step and to keep being the driver of our industry. The chance that we have is that these kind of new challenges are so enormous that only companies like us, the size that we are, with the processes and the culture that we have, can climb those kind of steps. And then, how to make it happen in real? Two things that we do. First, we prototype. And by prototyping, we gather every kind of expertise in the organization that would be then using those prototypes: marketing, IT, research, anthropologists, any kind of, so that everybody understands the opportunity that is behind the prototype and how it can be applied in the future of its product. So prototype, test, learn, and it works very, very well because everybody understands in real what it will provide in the future. And the second thing that we do also a lot is stay and be more open than any time before to collaborative projects, gathering any of the external expertise that we do not have today and that will strengthen our offer and what we will develop for the future. And we are very open to it, and we do have a lot of collaborative projects with either labs or small companies or large groups.
Okay. Well, you're talking about prototypes and the future. What are some of the prototypes you can disclose? When will I have my connected coffee machine that I can command with my iPhone app?
So we already have one that has been prototyped and shown the 2 past years at some shows.
Okay.
We are ready to launch the first connected pressure cooker. Pressure cooker is our most well-known product. And by next year, we will have a set of 3 or 4 products that you could pilot thanks to your phone. And you could send any kind of recipe to your appliance so that it cooks for you.
Interesting. And so the pressure cooker will get the recipe?
Now, the pressure cooker will alert you about how it cooks, when you have to go back, because it's a question of time.
Yeah.
And so it will give you the alert, confirm that you set the right setting on the appliance, and the app that you have on your phone will guide you step by step in order for you to succeed any kind of recipe that you have provided with the app.
Okay. So for you, Renault, there's a kind of a trendy topic in your world is the non-driver, a car without a driver. So a completely connected and automated car. Remind us where Renault is what's the situation for Renault on this specific topic, if any?
Yeah, it's starting obviously to be a hot topic for us. So short term, I said, we're very much focused on expanding our Renault R-Link offer, especially in terms of content, which again is one of the reasons why we're here today and for the 4th year in a row, partner of LeWeb', as also partner of Paris Incubator. So that's really our short-term priority. Long-term, our colleagues from engineering have actually worked on different streams and different prototypes. One of them is actually featured our stand in the main hall, which I urge you to go and visit and test it, because it's quite bluffing. And basically, what it shows is the evolution of the way to drive. So more than the fact of talking about car without drivers, we intend to speak more about autonomy for the driver, and basically giving back time to the driver in some certain instances, for him to be able to use this time not to drive, but to either entertain or work or whatsoever. So basically, the way it works is that we're also surfing on the 4G potential, and thus our partnership with Orange is that when the car is going at low speed, basically below 30 kilometers, then the car can move into like an automatic mode, and therefore the driver is able to use his car, as a lounge, or as a relaxing room, or as a work office, and basically using the future R-Link and the connected tablet to do any type of service or entertainment and so on.
So you don't think your driver, so your user, will be less active, if not completely passive, in a car? He will be active, but differently.
I mean, both. I mean, he can be active, sending emails, using a video phone, watching movie or whatsoever. But he could be also, relaxing and so on, while the connected automatic system around the car is driving the car.
And so, do you think in let's say, 10 years from now, people that will reach an age of 18 years old will still learn how to drive?
Yeah, I do, because it's always the same story. That reminds me, 10 years ago when I was working in the telecom business, everybody was saying, each new media is replacing a new one. And look at how much time that was needed to really kill the Minitel. So to me, connected car is not going to replace car. It's just add-on services, number one, and two, a new way to use your car. Because something I didn't mention is also the whole social aspect in terms of usage, talking either of co-sharing or co-using, and basically using the social capability in terms of the car usage itself, or using social as creation of new services within the car.
Same question for you, Kevin. My company allows people to host for a meal. So do you think in 10 years, some people could fake it completely and do not know anything about cooking and use your product and have a wonderful meal like a Michelin star?
I've been working in this environment for about 20 years now. And year after year, people say that they will cook less than before. And in fact, it's the contrary. Look at what happens with phones. The more technology you put inside, the more opportunities and use people have with it. And it will be exactly the case with our product. It's a fantastic, absolutely magic opportunity for upgrading, enhancing the use and the possibilities of cooking. And thanks to the fact that we put more technology into it, we put also more, I would say, humanity and individuality. With the Internet of Things is the Internet of individuals, where anybody can have, at the push of a button, exactly what he wants, the recipe he wants, and the success he wants to have, what today fails. If you fail today, you don't know why. Is it because of the appliance? Is it because of the recipe? Is it because of yourself? In the future, thanks to the technology that we put inside our products, the appliance will make the adjustment that you don't know how to do, because it will know who you are, what you want, the recipe it needs to cook, and how to make it. and it opens a fantastic possibilities for people to master better cooking and to become much more efficient in their daily basis, save time, and so on.
Okay, so if I want to sum it up from both of you, like in 10 years, our world won't change that much. It's just that will be a world where people are most empowered in driving or cooking thanks to devices and technologies. Is that right?
It all depends on us, because we open new opportunities, which means that we will be the one who will create the user experience and the usage that people will have in 10 years. So it's an opportunity that we have to seize, and we do our best to, day after day, be at the level of expectation of our end users.
Okay. Well, it's now time. Patrick, Kevin, thank you very much for all these insights within your company. Thank you very much.